something just exploded next to one of the most expensive warship ever built. And the terrifying part? The people who caused it were on the ship itself. This is the USS Gerald R. Ford, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier worth roughly $13 billion. And the United States Navy deliberately detonated enormous explosives in the water beside it. The Navy wanted to know one thing: what actually happens when a carrier experiences a massive underwater blast? Because here's the problem with an aircraft carrier. You don't necessarily have to sink it to take it out of the fight. A blast could damage a radar, knock critical electronics offline, disable a weapons elevator, or disrupt the electrical system. The carrier could remain perfectly afloat while becoming almost useless in combat. And underwater explosions are especially nasty. An explosion in the air can spread its energy in every direction, but water behaves very differently. The shock wave races through the water and slams into the ship's superstructure. The entire hull can flex, shake, and vibrate. Think of hitting a massive metal bell, except the bell weighs tens of thousands of tons. That's why the Ford was built with shock-resistant systems and isolation mounts. But there's a catch. Engineers can model almost anything. They can't know for certain whether those models are correct until something actually explodes. So the Navy brought the explosives close to the carrier. A small vessel towed enormous charges into position. Then came the first blast. The next one was closer, and the final explosion was powerful enough to register on seismographs as a magnitude 3.9 event. Think about that. A $13 billion aircraft carrier, deliberately sitting next to an explosion powerful enough to shake the surrounding ocean. So what happened? The Ford stayed afloat. No catastrophic flooding, no major fire, and no failure that prevented the ship from continuing its mission. The Navy later reported that the damage was actually below what its models had predicted. That's the real result. Not that the ship survived, that the math was right. Because in combat, the first blast comes without warning and the Ford has to be ready.